Last year, the years prior, it was Liver King saying eat your liver, and you're gonna look like the Liver King. This year, the meme is Abbew. Coach Greg, in today's video, social media is fucking us up. This year, who's the worst to blame of all people? Abbew. Abbew is the reincarnation of the Liver King. And by the end of the video, some of you, you're gonna hate me. I already know it. I can foresee the future. You already hate me right now. Oh, Abbew has the best messages. He says not to eat processed foods. Well, yeah, but almost everything else is, well, ridiculous, redonkulous, ludicrous. You name it, it's something bad. And so I highly encourage you to watch James Smith's social media up. He talks about it in detail. I'm specifically going to be focusing on Abbew and how all of you are being deceived.
Like Liver King, people flock to something that must be novel, that must be superior to just exercising more and having a more balanced diet.
So do you not see the comparison? The more out of the ordinary, the more ridiculous, the more crazy, the more it's not about just training harder than last time, diet and exercise, putting in the work, the more ridiculous it seems, the more people want to listen to it. And so last year, the years prior, it was Liver King saying eat your liver, and you're gonna look like the Liver King. This year, the meme is Abbew. Eat meat and eggs, stay away from all things that are sugar, and everything is sugar. Quite literally, his words, not mine. Even fruit is in that list. And y'all eat it up and love it. Bread, rice, pasta, fruit, cereal, all sugar. And y'all eat it up. And if Coach Greg talks about it, well, he's just jealous. He just wants the attention. Or do I not want to just share the message I've been saying for years, talking about diet and exercise, what you can do to be healthy? And so the world today now believes what Abbew is telling them. The world, the science, it's all bullshit. It's all made up. Anything that you don't agree with, you just say it's shit and wake up.
You may even recall that Abbew recently said that if you're depressed, it's because of your diet. So if you're out there on antidepressants and you're thinking about ending it all, just eat meat and eggs, according to Eddie.
Literally, he said it. I'm not making this shit up, and y'all eat it up. And when Coach Greg calls him out for having such horrendous advice, telling people who are perhaps ready to end it all, to not live on this earth, that all they have to do is change their diet, that's all that's wrong with them, you eat it up. Coach Greg's a bad person for speaking about Abbew. Abbew says to eat a bunch of eggs and meat and to stop eating processed foods is going to save your life. Everything about it. Probably cure cancer. And if I say, oh, the science doesn't actually back it up, this is actually wrong based on what I've read in the literature on PubMed and so on, you all say, oh, but that's bought and paid for. And so, guys, really, what are we supposed to do?
Eddie comes from a background of extreme drug abuse as a very high-end bodybuilder. And even though he was taking grams of gear a week and probably shortened his life by decades, he was good at that.
And so that is the elephant in the room. I've talked about this in a number of videos. Abbew was literally an IFBB pro on the Olympia stage. Does this look like the physique of a guy who is 100% natural? But you give him the pass. Give him the pass. You don't give Coach Greg the pass. Oh, you abuse steroids. You're on HRT. We can't listen to anything you say. And so when Abbew had to change his entire diet, that he can't properly process carbs, sugars, and so on, that his blood work wasn't very good, he says it's from processed food and shit. Yet, do you really think he ate shit during his bodybuilding career? Or do you not think he had chicken, broccoli, and rice? And so he blames it on the rice. Rice is sugar. Oh, I had too many strawberries and blueberries and apples, bananas throughout my career, and that is why I'm not healthy in my 60s. That is why I have to eat meat and eggs. Or is it the steroids, growth hormone, and insulin? I'm asking you, which is it?
But someone that bodybuilds to that level and gets in them skimpy underwear to tense on stage to impress another bunch of blokes, they crave some sort of attention.
And so you really think that I just make videos about Abbew because I need the attention? That I need to get more followers and so on. Do you really think I need the money, that I need more followers? You don't think I'm happy enough as I am? I'm doing the videos because this is what I do. It's what I do. I've been doing it for years. We like old Coach Greg back. Who? The Coach Greg that called out the BS in the fitness industry? And so is that not what I'm doing right now? And so are you not being hypocritical? We like the old Coach Greg, but when I am the old Coach Greg, you hate it.
True to his beliefs, or like Liver King, is this a ploy to grow his financial position to the best position possible?
And so you know that I sell cookbooks and supplements to make a living. Things like GO2 Max, Ecti Builder, Turk Builder, and I speak exactly as to what they do to your body. I tell you like it is. I take this, I take that. I've been doing this for years. Did old Coach Greg not do that? I told you my cycles, Anavar versus Osterine versus this, the cycles I've been on and so on, what I was doing in details. Did I not always do that? And so when I tell you what I'm doing right now, 140 milligrams of testosterone a week, HRT, as well as taking these supplements, you see me winning bike races and so on. Am I not being honest? And so what about Eddie? Is Eddie not promoting a book? Does he not have a PDF that he's selling to make money? And so how is he any different than me? He's making videos talking about what he feels like talking about, and y'all are watching it and buying his project and making him rich. How is he different? You really don't think he wants attention? If he didn't want attention, why is he saying this is shit, wake up wherever he goes? I'm not just talking about in his videos when he meets with fans. Eddie, tell us the line. Eddie, be the Eddie we want. And so if you think that Eddie is different from any other social media influencer out there, you are ridiculous. Just because he's over 60 with a gray beard doesn't mean he's any different from a teenager trying to be a social media influencer.
Because it's estimated that Eddie's making over £50,000 a month educating people in subjects that are not backed by science.
And so think of it. You're listening to Eddie, who's a nurse. A nurse he studied in the 1980s, perhaps. And does that make him qualified to understand talking about all foods are sugar? If you eat rice, if you eat an apple, banana, it's all sugar. It does the exact same thing. It's bad. Don't eat it. Is that the message that you want to give to your kids? You want them to avoid all sugar, including those in fruits and vegetables? What's next?
He even insists that the insulin hypothesis, which has been debunked, that insulin is the driver of weight gain, and that if you want to lose weight, you need to control your insulin, not your calories. He debunks energy balance. He actually disputes that calories are not even a thing.
And so losing weight has nothing to do with calories in, calories out. All you got to do is eat meat. And so because 95% of diets fail, you eat it up. I can't lose weight. I need to blame something. I'm going to blame carbs. And so the keto dieters and the carnivore eaters of the world, they're loving it. Stop counting calories, control insulin. Well, guess what? If you control your insulin and you eat in a calorie surplus, you're going to gain weight. And if you don't control your insulin and you eat in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. And so, Eddie, you're 100% wrong. But yet the people, they eat it up. And so we're going to see in the comment section, all the people, Coach Greg, you're jealous. That just means you're an idiot. It doesn't mean I'm jealous. It means you're a fool, a buffoon, a moron. Remember old Coach Greg? What did old Coach Greg do? All my subs are morons. Remember that? You loved it. And so if the shoe fits, put it on, lace it up real freaking humming tight.
Eddie goes head to head with thermodynamics, and there are millions of people that back him. Because they're idiots.
Even Homer Simpson understands the laws of thermodynamics. It's Homer Simpson. He doesn't understand anything other than the fact he likes donuts more than Will Tennyson.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
Now I get that Eddie's message is backed by well-meaning, but so is Liver King's.
Oh, but it's okay, Greg. He means well by it. The Liver King meant well too. Remember the Liver King? He lied about all the substances he took, but he had a message. I'm trying to decrease the rates of people trying to end their lives. Yeah, it's a great message, but you're doing so by lying. And so does lying make it okay? Does falsely telling people everything to do, does that make it better? My opinion, with knowledge comes power. And so you should be telling the people to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. And what are the best ways to do that? Cardiovascular exercise, perhaps lifting weights, building muscle, and eating fewer calories. And so any way you can do all these things, preferably all of them, that's the best way to lose weight.
And I'm sure that thousands of lives, maybe even millions of lives, are better off with this content. They're probably eating better. They're probably having less ultra-processed foods, which has always been the main principle of what I preach.
And so does anyone actually not already believe that you shouldn't eat a bunch of shit food? And by shit food, I mean ultra-processed junk, garbage, highly palatable things like chips and ice cream and candies and deep-fried this and deep-fried that, fast food takeout and so on. And let's add to that, you shouldn't drink a lot of alcohol. It's actually a class 1 carcinogenic on the WHO, the World Health Organization. They deem it as like the worst kind of thing you could do. In comparison, it's way worse than, for example, diet pop could ever be. Let's continue to add this list. Recreational drugs, probably you shouldn't be doing those. You probably shouldn't be staying up all night. You should probably get quality night's rest. You probably shouldn't be all stressed out. And so does any Abbew give bonus points for telling you what you already know? You already know all of this. And so yay, Eddie. You told people what they already know. And then on top of that, what did he add on top of that? The things that you didn't already know? He confused the shit out of all of you. Fruit is bad. Can't have fruit. Have you not seen the memes? Guys that are not sure what to do. What are you going to do? Eat cardboard? Drink water? Can we drink water? Oh, it depends on what kind.
My biggest gripe with Eddie is this. He seems to say that diet is everything. But I'd say there are 3 tiers that we need to prioritize when it comes to improving our health. Cardiovascular fitness, the amount of fat we have, the quality of our diet.
Notice, how often does Eddie talk about the fact that he abused performance-enhancing drugs? Did he in fact abuse them? Oh, let's not discuss how problematic that is. It is far worse. You know why Sam Sulek is going to have problems? Has nothing to do with what they might be taking behind the scenes. It's everything to do with their diet. You know, he's drinking chocolate milk. He's eating pizza. That's going to ruin his life. Really, have you looked at his body? Does it look like he's not able to process those foods? Now, remember this. It's way more unhealthy to be morbidly obese and eat healthy foods than it is to be lean, fit, and in shape and eat junk food. You're going to doubt me on that? Of course you are. But I'm telling you, for a fact, when I go and do a 1,000 calorie bike race, burning 1,000 calories on the bike, do you really think that to be healthy, all those 1,000 calories need to come from meat and eggs? That if I replace those 1,000 calories by eating bananas during my bike race, perhaps drinking a sugary beverage that's going to be unhealthy, that I can't process sugar, what fuel source do you think that my body wants to have while racing on a bike? Do you really think that in the Tour de France, guys are going to be up the mountain starving? They had just burned off 5,000 calories in a bike race. They raced in 260 kilometers, and somebody pass them a salad? No. Do you think they're going to give him a boiled egg and a piece of steak? No. They're giving him sugar. Sugar.
Yeah, we know that Eddie can't really read or assess research papers or understand literature, but he's trying to save lives.
And so you all realize this, right? Like, you don't actually believe that Eddie actually researches all this stuff, that he's a scientist, that he's just reading all day long, that he's got his master's or PhD in nutrition or something, that he's just acquired all this information, that he's just done so much research that he just understands all this, that he's decided that, hey, everything is shit, and that the best way to explain things is it's shit, wake up. And so when you ask him, what about it is shit? Could you describe this to a 6-year-old, make them understand why it's bad? It's shit. Could you describe this to Lane Norton or someone else with a PhD? It's shit. Isn't that the same response you said to a 6-year-old as a guy with a PhD? Could you not explain it? Could you elaborate on this? This is shit doesn't really define why it's so bad. I know you're saying you can't have skim milk because you said that they add in more sugar into the skim milk and versus the homogenized milk, but they don't actually do that. And so, Eddie, can you tell me why skim milk is now bad for us, but that whole milk is better? Can you explain to us, could you give me a scientific reason as to why I shouldn't be drinking skim milk?
He's doing this with people's best interests at heart, and I completely agree.
And so do you think that Eddie would like to save lives, to make people healthier and so on? Of course he does. Did you think I was going to say no? I believe that every person out there, they want to help people. No matter what they're doing, they would like to say, I've helped someone. I've helped them save their lives. I've helped them to lose weight, to feel better about themselves, to look better, to feel better. I believe that Eddie wants this for everyone. But in doing so, is he not misleading the population? Is he telling people more spews for more views? Is he in fact lying to achieve that benefit? And so is it not better to speak the truth, to tell people the honest truth about what you're saying?
Because if you support that notion, then that's just a bit like agreeing with what the governments did in the pandemic when they claimed vaccines were a lot more safe than they actually were because it was in a bid to save lives.
And so if you believe that it's okay for Eddie to lie to help people, is it okay for anyone to do that? Can the government start lying to us? I mean, they would never lie to us, talking about certain things they've given us to it during a certain time of the year. You know, during Halloween, telling kids to wear masks, that you need to wear that will save everybody, that you need to stay home all the time, and that if you leave the house, it's going to somehow contribute to the end of the world. Do you want people to lie? Is that okay? I mean, after all, perhaps it is. I mean, don't we brainwash our children into a bunch of lies when they're growing up? We teach them about certain things, you know, people that visit you in the middle of the night and so on. Do you not think we've conditioned people from an early age to believe nonsense, to believe lies? And so maybe it is okay. It's not for me to decide. I personally don't like the message he's creating. I'm not against him saying facts that he says, hey, you shouldn't eat junk food and so on. But when you say it's going to cure mental illness, when you say that it's not calories in, calories out, when you tell people that eating fruit, it's the same as anything else because it's sugar, I don't like it, and I'm going to make a video talking about it because that is what I do. It's what I've done, it's what I did, and it's what I'm going to continue to do. And so if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. You can click the unsubscribe button and follow Eddie Abbew and join more like-minded individuals. But if you agree with what I'm saying, click the like button. Subscribe, click the bell button, do it now.
If you can be dishonest, as long as people's best interests are at heart, where does that stop? You then open a door to a place that we don't want to go.
So my girlfriend says, I'm looking fat in these jeans, and you know she is. Are you supposed to say, nope, you look so skinny in those jeans, they're the best jeans ever? Or should you be honest? I personally believe you should be honest. My friends tell me one of my best qualities and my worst is that I'm brutally honest, that I don't have tact. And so I am, in fact, I believe, the opposite of Eddie Abbew. Eddie Abbew just says whatever he feels like saying to make him look cool, and it's working. And no, I'm not jealous. I'm perfectly okay with people being much more popular than me. Guys like Chris Bumstead, The Rock, I'm not jealous of these people. It's fantastic that they're very popular. It's okay. I've gotten 100 times more popular than I need to be. I'm very grateful. I'm very happy.
His stances on things are a lot less polarizing. But unfortunately, that doesn't bang millions of views. The further you go from the objective truth, the easier it is to get people as part of your cult, and therefore make lots of money from it.
He can't just speak the truth or read the literature correctly. He has to say things that are way more controversial. Imagine if he had said, hey, all carbs are the same, except you can eat fruits. Those are okay. But I think that rice and breads and pastas, they all end up as glucose in the body. And so to me, they're all the same thing. Imagine if he had said that, would have had way less views. But the fact that he included fruit as part of everything is sugar makes it more controversial. I'm making a video about him. And so he's literally playing 4D chess with all of us. Same as I do. Playing 4D chess. We know what you want. We know you need the clickbait title. We know you need to compare Eddie Abbew to the Liver King to make you watch the video. And so if you're interested in any of the supplements, remember code Greg 15% off. We have creatine. It's half price. That has the most evidence to support that it does in fact work. How can you go wrong? 50% off sale on creatine. And I'm telling you, if I had to choose these more effective than creatine, you may or may not believe me. You may or may not have read the studies. There's a science. You may not have tried it. But if you were to try Acne Builder, Turk Builder, GO2 Max and compare to creatine, and the fact is you're trying to get better results, for example, on the bike or to have more muscle, more stamina, look better, to be able to train harder than last time, you can believe me, you cannot believe me. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you what I think. And so if you're interested in these products, click the link in the description, code Greg 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. There's a couple of bloops you can watch that would be very helpful. Remember, don't forget to unsubscribe if you don't like what I'm doing. If you're interested in a free training program, remember it's free. I'm giving it free. What is Eddie Abbew giving you free? It's free. It's up to 50 pages in length. Head over to my website. Remember, become one of the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Head over to my website. And until next time, I am out.